I've been recording all my videos sitting in it. Seriously? Hey, What are you out of your mind? I keep this chair covered all the time because my imbecile cats will claw it up if I don't. So this is a rare occasion when I actually get to enjoy the chair without a giant blanket on it. Anyway, it occurred to me that all the videos that I've made so far, hello Dexter. Hi. All the videos I've made so far, I've made sitting at a desk in front of a bookshelf. It all feels a little formal, studious, professorial even. I don't know. Thought maybe I'd try something a little bit more relaxed, but this isn't very relaxing. And I also probably look ridiculous. All right, let's try something else. Okay, this is a little better. In Grandma's basement here with my toy collection, with my displays. This feels better. Except, guys, we have a new puppy in the house who finds it necessary to poop in various inappropriate places, including over here. So it smells a little funky. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up, and I'll pick a different spot. Okay, how about in my toy closet? I mean, that makes sense, right? That I would be in here with all my knickknacks and stuff, and you know, all of this. Got some broken Masters of the Universe to get the new retro dudes, and these Ghostbusters figures I'm pretty pumped about. I'm gonna get claustrophobic in here though. This isn't gonna work either. Forget it. I'll just do the desk in front of the bookshelf thing. That's just going to have to do. Now, you might notice that it's a little dark. Well, that's because the aforementioned puppy dog, in addition to pooping wherever she likes, also decided to chew through the power cord for my light ring apparatus thing. So, later on this week, I get to repair that. But in the meantime, we're just going to do it down and dirty, just a little dark, okay? Okie dokie. So right off the bat, I want to do something that I'm going to do in a lot of my videos going forward. Maybe we're going to take a look inside Funky's digital mailbag. I'll probably put a little graphic there or something. Anyway, I get a ton of messages from all sorts of people: Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, email, whatever. And some of them are, super normal questions. Some of them are super crazy questions, and I'm going to highlight some of those in videos moving forward. But this is actually a question I got from multiple folks, and it's not crazy at all. And the question was, hey, are you going to do any more live streams? Maybe, but probably not. It's not that I didn't like it. I did like 4 of them, maybe, I think, and I enjoyed it. It's fun. But the problem is that the time that the opportunities that I have to do the live streams don't really work for when most people would be able to watch them. So I might as well just pre-record a video, right? So I got small kids. I do a lot of work during the day. I could do live streams during the day, but a lot of people are going to be at work. A lot of people aren't going to be able to watch them live. So doing them at night, when my kids are going to bed or when they have gone to bed, it just doesn't really line up with when most people would want to watch. So anyway, not so much the live streaming for a little while, but I am going to make an effort to make more videos. Oh, geez, I just cannot get enough animals, apparently. I hope you enjoyed. You probably got a close-up view of my cat's ass. This is French Fry 8000, who will be leaving now. Anyway, so that answers the first question in Funky's digital mailbox. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so up next, as most of you know if you follow me on Instagram or on Etsy, I concluded finally my series of Star Wars Ewoks Movie action figures. And I can't remember what the total of them was, maybe like 15, 14, something like that. Anyway, I was planning on rolling right from that into making some Ewok Village add-on parts. Still want to do that. It's still on my docket, but frankly, I got a little burnout on Ewok stuff for a little while, and everybody's been hammering me for Andor Season 2 figures, so I kind of shifted focus to that. More on that in a second, but for those of you who, this is kind of a Funky's digital mailbag question, but people were asking me, they saw the different scales that the Gorax figure was, but people were asking, like, you know, like, I think they were having a hard time wrapping their head around the actual size of it, even though, you know, I said, like, yeah, there's like an 8-inch version and a 12-inch version. Anyway, so I just, for illustration's sake, here's the 12-inch Gorax. This dude is pretty big compared to, this is Mace from the Ewoks movie, so he's not even as tall as the axe is, so pretty big. I kind of went a little crazy with that. Anyway, this is mine that I'm for myself, and I'm actually in the middle of painting up, so hopefully I'll have that done soon. That's it for the Ewoks figures. Okay, so let's talk Andor Season 2. So people have been making a ton of requests on for those figures, and frankly, I loved the show. I thought it was fantastic. Most excited I've been about Star Wars content in a while. So much so that I've kind of rearranged my priority list, not only as it relates to the Ewok Village parts, but I was also going to make some totally non-Star Wars stuff, and I've just moved Andor Season 2 ahead a little bit, and then I'll move into that stuff afterwards, which hopefully a lot of you will be excited about what I have planned in the non-Star Wars arena as well. So before we talk about Season 2 Andor figures, let's take a quick look at the figures that I did from Season 1, because I have some, and I've shown some of these before, but I have some that were painted up by Greg at Ouroboros Customs, and they just look fantastic. I get so many compliments anytime anybody sees them on how great they look. So let's just take a look at those real quick. So all of these figures were painted by Greg at Ouroboros Customs, with the exception of Dedra back in the back left. I did that one, and you can tell if you look closely because the eyes aren't as good as what Greg does. I need to redo those at some point. Anyway, the Time Grappler bell ringer guy there, his bell, that accessory was made by Charvies 3D and painted by me. Charvies does fantastic playsets and vehicles. If you haven't checked him out, you definitely should. Pretty awesome, huh? I love those things. I wish I had all of them painted up, honestly, like, you know, because some of them, Greg painted a ton of them for me, but there's still more Andor Season 1 figures that I have that he didn't paint for me, and I'm gonna have to paint them myself. But let's talk Season 2 for a second. So I have my list here because there's no way I would remember all of this, and I'm gonna put them up on the screen here too. But I'm making a ton of Season 2 figures, and ever since I announced that I was going to do them, people have been hitting my DMs, in the email with requests, most of which are already on my list, which is great. But I'm going to read off this ridiculous list of Andor Season 2 and Rogue One figures, and then you can hit me in the comments below or send me a message if there's anybody that I have left off that you think would be worth making. Okay, here we go. So I'm doing them in batches. So batch number 1 I already put out, and batch number 1 was an update of the Narkina 5 Cassian Andor figure, an Olaf Narkina 5 figure, Dedra in her prisoner outfit, spoiler alert for Season 2, but once I was working on the prisoners, of course, I had to make her. Then Cassian as the experimental TIE pilot guy, Lonnie, Supervisor Lagret, Lagret probably is how you pronounce that, and Clea as a nurse. I loved that whole story arc there. It was super awesome, so I had to make her. Okay, so that was batch 1. I've already put those out. They're available now on Etsy, and eventually I will probably make them available on Cults 3D for download also, but for now, just on Etsy. Batch number 2, which I am currently almost done with, is I've got Dedra in her casual, like kind of halfway smiling outfit. K2SO, which I had done a version of him before, but I didn't make prints available, and I wasn't like totally in love with the final output there. So I made some tweaks, and now he's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great vintage style K2 figure. Gorst, he came out great. A Shore Trooper, which I was selling a Shore Trooper before based on a Rogue One design. Tweaked that a little bit, and it'll just a better, it's just a better sculpt, I think, than what I was selling before, just slightly better. And then I believe you pronounce her name Lida, Mon Mothma's ungrateful, cold daughter. I made Mon and Perrin in the season 1 series, so I had to make their daughter. So that's all going to be in. Oh, batch 2 also includes Tay Kolma and Davo. Yeah, that's all going to be in batch 2. Batch 3 is going to have Krennic, and I'm going to do like a version of him with like an optional clip-on hard sculpted cape, so you can use soft goods if you'd rather. Anyway, I'm going to make the alien grandma in the wheelchair. Got to do that. Now that one, I'm going to have to make some decisions as I'm sculpting it, because I don't think she needs to get out of the chair and walk around, but I want to articulate at least her arms, her hands in some way, and her head so that she can turn around. But I'll probably just, I don't know, I might sculpt her just in the sitting down position, and then you can put her in the chair or remove her. I don't know. I'm going to see how that works out. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that in the comments. I'm going to make Clea in her awesome red jacket from season 1. I can't believe I didn't make her in that outfit from before, because she just looks so badass. So I'm going to make that. And the Andor version of Saw Gerrera. I'm going to make Wilman Pack and Captain Kaido with the nasty face scar and all that. And I'm going to make Bail Organa, and I'm going to do 2 different head sculpts. One for Jimmy Smits and one for the other guy, Ben. I can't remember his name. Anyway, for the 2 actors, so that you can, pick your poison there. Okay, let's pick up this pace here. Batch number 4 is going to be Melshi from his Commando Coruscant mission outfit. Clea with the hood from the end of season 2. The Yavin Force Healer, General Draven, Mon Mothma kind of like dressed down for Yavin, Admiral Raddus, and probably do Melshi as a prisoner too, just because I've already got the prisoner body sculpt, and then I'll have Melshi's head. I'll just give him a different hairdo, and we'll be good. Okay, so then that's it for Andor, for the strictly Andor figures. I'm going to make some Rogue One figures. I've already made a couple. I've made I've made Merrick, and I've made Cassian in his Imperial officer disguise. I have a new version of that one that I just released, so that's cleaned up a little bit. So those are already out there. I'm going to make Jyn Erso, Galen Erso, both of the 2 tubes dudes, Chirrut, Bodhi, Moroff, Saw Gerrera in his Rogue One version, Pow, Baze, and the Imperial ground crew dudes, just mainly because I think they look really cool. And then I'll make Jyn Erso in that outfit as well. Guys, that is an absolute embarrassing amount of figures. What is that? 96, that's like 38 figures, something like that. I hope I get to all of them. I want to. But anyway, if there's any of those that you're like, man, you don't need to make those, let me know. Take something off my plate. Anyway, okay, so that's it for Andor Season 2 stuff. Next up, and we're getting towards the end here, next up I want to share some stuff that I got from somebody else. So I've mentioned in maybe videos or maybe just pictures, I don't know. I've been a collector of the Spaceballs figures from the 3D Panda crew since they first started, since they released their Barf figure. Gosh, it's probably been 3 years. Anyway, really great stuff. They're a little slower than I would like in releasing all of these figures, because I would have loved to have had the whole set that they did, a couple of years ago. But hey, quality takes time, so you just gotta wait. And they're almost done. They've got a couple more, I guess, now that they've put out at the end of the series here. And I don't know if they're offering painted versions of them yet, but unpainted definitely. But the ones that I got recently are, I got Colonel Sanders, the Dink Dink, and Pizza the Hut. And guys, I'm going to do close-ups of these in just a second, but Pizza the Hut here, with these all have magnetic articulation also. Pizza the Hut here, it's hefty. This is a hefty piece of work here. Like, it feels like a statue, like it's substantial, it's awesome. And the detail of the painting, it's Norm and Christina are the 3D Panda, and Christina, I believe, does all the painting. And man, she did fantastic work on this. I mean, it's all the paintwork that she normally does is great, but this, she went above and beyond on this. So let's pause for a second. I'm gonna head over there to my little photo booth thing and show you some close-ups of these. All right, look at our pal Colonel Sanders here. Now, if I remember the story correctly, there was the previous sculptor that the 3D Panda folks were working with for their Spaceballs line. They had a falling out with him, and they ended up switching over and using a guy, I can't remember his real name, but he goes by Art Toy Chili on Instagram, and he does some really cool work. They switched over, and he designed these last few Spaceballs figures for them. So really good work on Colonel Sanders here. He's got a really scared expression on his face, which just kind of seemed appropriate. So, gosh, I should have done the prep work ahead of time here. Let me open up this guy. We got our pal the Dink Dink. Look at that guy. Look at him. I'm going to put him right there. Now, this is a guy where, I know 3D Panda doesn't sell most of their files on Cults 3D or anything, but if they did, if they ever decided they're going to, I would download this guy and print a half a dozen of them, although I'd have to figure out what that amazing metallic paint that they used is, because that's just really cool. All right, let's get Mr. Dink Dink out of there. And the main event here, oh buddy, look at Pizza the Hut. I'm going to start him over here. Look at that guy. I love him. Look at the detail. It's just really on all the like cheese and the toppings and everything. And then the tablecloth thing is glued on there. Now, I've seen a handful of different approaches to people making Pizza the Hut figures, and some of them look like more of a Jabba the Hutt with just the pizza look. But there are some behind-the-scenes photos that show more of what Pizza the Hut actually looked like from behind, and he looks like this. So 3D Panda did a great job of capturing that look, even if we didn't get to see it in all of its glory in the film. So really great job here, guys. Love it. Hi, Dexter. Awesome, right? I love them. I can't wait for... they're doing like a Vinny figure. I gotta have Vinny to go with Pizza the Hut, you know. Anyway, okay, enough about that. Just one more thing to talk about here. This is more of like a housekeeping kind of thing. Let's talk about discounts. So one thing that I get from time to time is people hitting me up asking me for discounts. And sometimes it's hey man, if I order directly from you and I order like 12 figures or something, is there any sort of bulk discount or whatever? And I usually work with people on something like that. I don't mind you asking that. I like to give discounts when I can. And remember, anytime you order directly from me rather than ordering through Etsy, then I automatically give free shipping, and I usually knock $1 or $2 off the price of most figures just because I'm not paying Etsy's fees on those transactions. So you're already going to get a discount if you order direct from me. But sometimes people will ask, you know, hey, I'm planning on placing a big order. Can you cut me some slack? And I'll usually work with you. But, you know, I'm not making a ton of money here, guys. And as I mentioned in videos before, I think I'm really grateful for all the support that I've got from followers and customers and so on, because I actually got laid off from my main gig last year, and what was originally my side hustle has been keeping the lights on for me while I figure out what's next for me in my normal legit career. So my profit margins are not huge. I spend a lot of time working on this stuff, and obviously I sculpt a lot of figures and put them out, and this is how I'm putting food on the table these days. So I don't mind giving discounts when I can, but here's what I don't want. What I don't want is some random jabroni that I've never met before and has never bought anything from me in my life, hitting me up with an email and being like, hey man, can you hook me up? Can you give me a deal? I'm like, I don't know you, man. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Are you going to go to Target and be like, hey, can I get a discount? Can you hook me up? No, you're not going to do that. And Target, Amazon, they got a Walmart, they got a bazillion dollars. I don't got a bazillion dollars. I'm just a dude. I saw this, it was like a meme at some point that said, support my small business by not asking for a discount. And I thought that was awesome because I'm cool, I'm chill. I like to give people deals and I keep my prices as low as I can, lower than some of my peers. But that just means that, giving discounts, it's tough. So I usually give discounts to people who order a lot of stuff or people who are just cool people that I know, not just random dinglings that pop up in my DMs. So don't be a random dingling popping up in my DMs asking for a hookup. All right? Anyway, that is all I have for this video. Like I said, I am hopeful that I will be able to make more videos for not only for YouTube, but also for Instagram. Man, I don't know if you guys saw, but I put out a stupid reel on Instagram like a week or two ago where I was like playing with Andor season 1 figures like they were like Dark Helmet and Spaceballs, and I was playing with them and making them talk and whatever. I got a bazillion views and likes and comments and whatever. It was like my best performing reel that I've done. Who knew? Who knew that that was going to do it? Anyway, I'm going to do more videos there because it's fun, honestly, and I can be a little ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to make more stuff. Probably not going to do live streams for a while, but anyway, thanks for sticking around. As always, hit me in the comments. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me you love me. All that stuff. And until next time, stay funky, everybody.